Hey everyone, this is David Pike, the Motorcity Mechanic, and I'm back with another video. Now today I want to show you how to clean your throttle body on your vehicle, and in turn actually save you some money. Check it out. Now about every 15,000 miles it's recommended to actually inspect your air filter, and also at that point is when I recommend that you actually check and clean your throttle body. 15,000 miles is a good interval on that. Now your air filter may not be needed, it just depends on your driving conditions and where you drive, but it's a good rule of thumb: 15,000 miles, air filter, and make sure you clean your throttle body. There's going to be a few items that you do need. The first one is an actual cleaner. This one's made by CRC. It's a throttle body and air intake cleaner. You can pick this up at your local auto parts store for right around $5, give or take. Also, go through your bathrooms, find a toothbrush that's about ready to be retired. Gonna need some rags for cleaning everything. And we're also gonna need some basic hand tools that you should already have to get access to the throttle body. And we're going to go ahead and start with this throttle body that we've already got removed from an engine. We're going to do it on the bench so that you can see it a lot easier. Once we're done with that, we'll move over to the 5.7 liter Hemi that we've got on the stand. Now if you opt to remove your throttle body to clean it, one thing you need to take into consideration is you're more than likely going to need to replace either the O-ring or gasket that goes between the throttle body and the intake. So make sure you purchase one if you're going to go this route. Now the actual cleaning doesn't take much time at all. What does take most of the time is actually getting access to the throttle body. You've got that plastic inlet or rubber inlet that you've got to get off. Some vehicles, it may take multiple components you've got to take off to get to it. So that's where the more time consuming part's going to be. The actual cleaning does not take long at all. Now, different manufacturers have different warnings about what you can and cannot do to the throttle body as far as cleaning it. Some have special coatings inside the bore here and on the throttle plate, while some of them are made of plastic. Another thing to take into consideration is whether or not it's electronic throttle body or if it's cable operated. I'm going to show you some techniques that you should be able to use for all of those without causing any problems. Now here's a little tip that I learned from experience. When you go to insert the straw that comes with the cleaner into the nozzle, make sure that it's fully seated. If it's not fully seated, the first time you go to spray the cleaner in the throttle body, there's a chance that the straw will actually shoot off into the throttle body, into the intake. If that happens, intake may have to come off so that you can get the straw out before it causes any damage to the engine. How do I know this? I've done that, so make sure it's fully seated before you do anything. Now in order to clean the inside of the throttle body, we're going to have to open up the throttle plate. Now this is electronic throttle body, so we're going to have to do it manually by pushing on the actual throttle valve or plate. If it was cable operated, we could just move the linkage on the outside. And of course we're going to have to keep it open the whole time. Now when you go to clean, you want to do short bursts of the cleaner. Just because it's a big can does not mean we have to use all the can. We're only using enough to clean. And we can do this multiple times. So some short bursts of the cleaner around the perimeter, mainly where that throttle plate makes contact with the inside of the throttle body. And with our toothbrush, we'll just start scrubbing the surfaces where they made contact. Just go around the perimeter and actually do the throttle plate as well. You can follow it up with one of your rags and kind of get the excess. Like I said, do it in short spurts. We can always come back and spray more cleaner. And the whole reason for that is we don't want excessive fluid getting inside the throttle body or getting down past the shaft into the electronics. So if you just keep it simple, short bursts, you'll be fine. Now, the other method you can try is if you're worried about any kind of coatings, or if you're worried about it being a plastic throttle body, you can actually get your rag, and instead of spraying it on the throttle body itself or using your toothbrush, you can actually just spray the rag. Just get the rag damp. And then what we can do is, we can do the same process again, But instead we use the rag to clean. This will prevent any kind of cleaner from getting in the throttle body and any kind of large amounts that could damage any kind of coatings or the plastic itself. And then once again, just follow up with another clean rag. Repeat this over and over until you get the effect that you're looking for. Basically no carbon built up and everything is nice and shiny and clean. Now does it have to be 100% spotless as far as being cleaned? No, but get it the best that you can. The main reason why we're cleaning it is because there can be drivability issues related to a dirty throttle body. We could have stalling at idle. We could also have different things as far as fuel economy and performance that's affected by that, as well as check engine lights. Now one of the pros of actually removing the throttle body to clean it is that you have better access to the back side as well as the front side when it comes to cleaning it. Now the cons are, as I mentioned before, you're going to either need to replace the gasket or the O-ring that seals the throttle body to the intake. So the choice is yours. So now that we're done with the one that we had on the bench, we're going to go ahead and move on to the one that we got on the stand. This intake's still bolted to the engine, so we're going to go ahead and act as if this engine is in a vehicle and follow the same procedures. Now when you go to cleaning the throttle body on the vehicle, now there's a couple precautions. One is, depending on how the throttle body is mounted, whether it's vertical or horizontal, you may want to put a rag up under it to catch any of the cleaner runoff that comes out of it. And also when we go to open it, like I said before, we're going to have to do it manually, so we got to put a finger in there to hold the plate open. We can't get from behind, and this one's being electronic, so we don't have a linkage that we can move. Now the procedure is pretty much the same. We're going to do short bursts just to get the cleaner in there, and then we can actually scrub it if you want to use the toothbrush method, or if you actually want to use the rag that's been soaked in the fluid method. Either one of them is fine. As you can see, it's actually pretty dirty up in here, so that's the main reason for cleaning it. Follow it back up with the rag, get any of the excess, and then we'll also repeat this procedure probably about 2 to 3 more times, because even as we're wiping it, you can see it's still dirty inside. The Hemis were one that would, depending on how dirty they got, they could set codes. You could also get a dead pedal depending on what the code was and how dirty the throttle body was. Luckily it wasn't a part that had to be replaced. It was just simply going in there and doing a simple cleaning service. I can see it's starting to get better as we go. Like I said, make sure you pay attention to the throttle plate as well, mainly the edges. Just reach in there the best you can. And we'll follow up with one more final spray. And one final wipe. Alright, there we have it. Now once you're done cleaning, you just got to put the either rubber elbow or plastic elbow back onto the throttle body and reattach all the components you had to take off for that. Now, if you did the cleaning on the vehicle, when you initially go to start the vehicle, it's going to run rough or maybe a little harder to start for the first few seconds. Eventually it should fire up and eventually it should start running smooth. Remember now, we put cleaner inside. It's that cleaner that's causing it to be a little difficult to start and to run rough. It is burnable. It will go out the back of the tailpipe without causing any issues. But let it idle probably a good 5 minutes, probably a good time frame to let it idle, so make sure if there's anything in there that's burned off before you give it back to the customer. So as you see, the cleaning actually isn't that difficult and doesn't take that much time. As I said before, it's mainly getting to the throttle body that you spend most of your time doing this job. Now, if you were to take it to a local repair shop or dealership, you're looking at around $50, give or take, to have that cleaning done. So now you know everything that's involved when it comes to cleaning that throttle body and what to look out for. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up on YouTube. Don't forget you can like me on Facebook, check me out on Instagram and Twitter as well. If you got any comments or suggestions about today's video on cleaning that throttle body or anything Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram related, you can always email me at david@motorcitymechanic.com and I'll try to get back to you in a timely manner. If you're a new viewer, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're a returning viewer, make sure you hit the bell next to the subscribe button. That way you get notified instantly when videos such as this get uploaded. In the meantime, everyone, thanks for watching all these videos.